Thank you, David and friends. That was a beautiful video, beautiful song. We will one day be ancestors. Perhaps there are people in the world who already call you an ancestor still living. Someday, someone, somewhere, no matter how young we are, someone will look back and recall us. What from our history do we hope to give in turn to our future? In a few moments, you will be invited to help build a word cloud of witnesses, if you will, using menti.com, which is a website we have used a couple times in worship. I will share the screen of that word cloud as we are building it in just a couple of minutes. The question I ask for this word cloud is, what will you carry forward from your ancestors of blood and spirit? What do they offer that you will need for the days ahead? But before, I invite you into a moment of guided meditation. This reading and meditation comes from the Reverend Victoria Safford, a UU minister. And she asks, whose are you? Who carries you in their heart, thinks of you, whether you think of them or not? Whose are you? Who are your people? The ones who make a force field you can almost touch. Whose are you? Who is within your circle of concern? Whose are you? To whom are you responsible, accountable? Whose care is yours to provide? Whose are you? When you look in the mirror in the morning, whose bones do you see? Whose blood runs in your veins? Who are those people stretching back in time, beyond memory? Where did you come from? Whose are you? When you walk out of your room, out of your house, into the sunlight of the day, to whom in this wide world do you belong? Where is your allegiance? By whom are you called? Whose are you? At the end of the day, through the longest night, in the valley of the shadow of death and despair, who holds your going out and coming in? Who holds your waking and your sleeping? Who and what holds you in the hollow of its hand? Whose are you? I called this a ritual of belonging, a belonging meditation, because we belong to those who have come before us, and we belong to those who come after. We are the bridge between past and future. And I ask you now to join me in creating a word cloud of the gifts that we wish to bring forward from our past and into our future. You can do that by going to menti.com, either on your computer. You can also use the browser on your phone. You go to menti.com, menti.com, and use the code 1313 656 You should see it on your screen right now. I should be sharing my screen with you today. You will get a screen that looks like this when you go to menti.com. And you will enter the code for this meeting, which is, as I said, 13 13 65 6. And now you can submit your answers. We will watch them as they grow together on the screen. I'm going to use my phone so that I don't disrupt our word cloud viewing. I love this word cloud because I get to see what threads and strains of common gifts we claim from our ancestors. I'll read some of the words that are coming out. The words that are larger in your word cloud are the words that are shared by multiple people. Some of the gifts that we carry forward from our ancestors are compassion, love, hope, courage and humor, empathy, independence, patience, understanding, resilience, tenacity, wisdom, gentleness, caring, acceptance, bravery, fertility, strength, and joy. We are not meant to go it alone. I am in awe of the gifts we give each other that you are naming here. I invite you to continue as I read briefly the words of another ancestor still living, an ancestor of spirit, the Reverend Kendall Gibbons, another UU minister. We come together because we are creatures who are fundamentally, physiologically incomplete. As much as our individuality defines us, we also need other people to make our limbic circuits function the way evolution has built us. To the core of our chemistry and our neural networks, we are a social species. Our physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual well-being depends on our connections, both to the world of nature and to our fellow humans. If we are not part of a conspiracy, a breathing together to live and thrive in community on this planet, some essential part of us shrivels up and slowly dies. Spirituality for skeptics is about keeping alive that connective tissue that makes us who we are and enables us to imagine what we might yet become. Some of that work we do alone, but more of it happens in the company of other seekers who share that skeptical path with us, insisting on the freedom of conscience, and the integrity of doubt. We do it by grappling with the deep questions and the big ideas. We do it simply by sitting next to each other, by speaking forth our joys and sorrows, by sharing soup, by lifting our hearts in praise of this amazing earth and our astonishing lives, by making music with our blended voices. So let us sing. Speaking of singing, I invite you to continue adding words to our word cloud. I will share it in Beacon Bits and in our Facebook group. But in this moment, let us sing.